because I took 27 off. 28, it says, would these two cylinders, if they're trying to find two congruent containers, would this work?
No.
Yeah, they're similar, but they are not congruent. They're not the same size. That's right. Okay. That one looks to be on there. 29, I know it's easy, but I don't think it's on there. But which ones are congruent?
C.
B and D and E and F seem to be congruent. Okay. Same size, same shape. All right, but that one I don't believe is on there.
29 isn't on there?
Okay, then there's one like, I don't think it's like number 30. It's not. Do y'all want me to go over number 30?
It's on this.
Okay. So number 31, all it is just extra practice. 31 says you're going from the solid figure to the dashed figure, and it says, is it an enlargement or a reduction, first of all? Reduction. So you have eliminated, you know it's not C, all right? And then it needs to know what scale factor. So you're going from this one to this one. How many spaces? Well, first of all, we're counting by what? Twos. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And this one is 2, 4, 6. So if you went from 12 to 6, you reduced it by what? A half. So you would go with the reduction of a half, and that's D. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes?
Clara's trying to get your attention.
Oh, mine? Is she really?
She watches doing this and trying to look at you. You missed her.
Okay. Then we have, does she need me? Okay, she doesn't need me. All right. Number 32 is on there. It's got a blueprint for a house, scale factor of 45, and a wall in the blueprint is 9 inches. What's the length of the actual wall? You know from the blueprint to the actual wall, it's going to get bigger, right? From the sheet of paper to real life, it will get bigger. And if your scale factor, that means you multiply. So what is the 9 times 45?
405.
405. But that is not the answer, right? Because I know they have that on here, but that's 405 inches, right? Because we were just in inches. So what do you do with that? Divide it by 12. And doesn't that actually seem like a better answer?
Why did you divide by 12?
Because there's 12 inches in a foot. And what'd y'all get? 33.75? What'd you say?
Just make sure you're recording.
Oh, yeah, I'm recording. But is everybody good with that one? Yes? Okay. Let's keep going. So that one was on there. We're getting there. All right, it looks like there's one like 33. Okay, so it says, it wants it in function notation. Okay, so all they want is for us to say it's a dilation. So I'm going to write this on here. So I've got, I don't think y'all can see green. A dilation, we have to find what that scale factor is. So I'm going from the solid to the dotted. Okay, so I'm counting by what? 2's. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. What would that one be? 9. Does everybody understand that that's 9? And then this one's going to be 2, 3. So if it goes from 9 to 3, it has gone down by a third. All right, if it's gone down, it should be a fraction. Or if you don't know that, just put 3 over 9. What's that? 1/3. Okay, so a dilation of a third, and then they usually put triangle ABC. Does that make sense? That's all it is. That's function notation. Okay, and y'all, after we're done with this, y'all can work on that extra study guide, and some of you can make note cards. Okay, you can have a little note card. Can I erase? Yes. Is this seeming any easier?
Yes, ma'am.
Some say no, some say yes. I'm hoping it's getting better. All right, number 34. Okay, so there's one like 34 and 35 on here. So 34, it has 2 things going on, right? Let's see. Yeah, you apply the composition. Which one do you start with? Yeah, the second one, this one on the inside. So it says I'm gonna reflect over x equals 4. That's what that says, correct? Okay. So x equals 4 is that line right there. Does everybody agree? So if I reflect it over that, I'm just flipping it over. So this point, it's on that line, so it's going to stay on that line. This one is 1, 2, 3 squares away, so this one's gonna be 1, 2, 3 squares away. I know I'm counting by 2, but I'm just seeing my distances. This one is 1, 2, oops, let me go back.
I think we got that
This one is 1, 2, 3, 4 squares away, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. What did you say?
So I got that one wrong.
Oh. So I have reflected it, and doesn't it look like a mirror image over that dotted line? Is everybody good so far?
Wait,
Wait.
let me just write this down.
Gotcha. Okay. Anybody else need a second? All I did was I reflected it over x equals 4. Partial credit so far. Now, if you do a dilation, you have to have numbers, okay? So that means I need to know what are all these ordered pairs, because I can't take half of them, right? I can't take half of a number if I don't have any numbers. So let's find out what they are. So this ordered pair is over 4 and up 2. Does everybody agree with that? I hope so. All right. Then this ordered pair, I'm over 10 and up 4. And then this ordered pair, I'm over 12 and I'm down 4. That's a negative 4. Okay, those are my ordered pairs. Now I can do a dilation, and I would take half of all those numbers, right? Where did I get half from? 0.5. We're just multiplying all by 0.5. Is everybody, we're good? So if I do that, I'll do it in green. What's half of both of those numbers?
2,
2, 1. What's half of those?
5, 2,
5, 2, and what's half of those?
6, negative 2.
There you go. And then we can draw our new figure. So over 2, up 1. Uh-huh.
Can you go back a step before you start writing and explain them again?
Before I started writing what?
The ordered pairs and stuff.
So did you get my reflection?
I was writing down the reflections.
Okay, so it said x equals 4. That's this line right here. Okay, do you understand that? So then a reflection means that, like, you just see how far is it from each point. So this point, you understand?
Yeah, I
Okay,
understand that,
sorry.
like right after.
Okay, so now after that. Now, for a dilation, you have to have ordered pairs. Okay? Like, you have to take, that means I'm going to take half of the number, 0.5 times the number. So I have to have the numbers. Well, that's these 3 numbers right here. If I want this figure to shrink by half the size, or to half the size, then I have to know where those points are. So that's what I wrote down. Does that make sense? I went over 4 and up 2, there's that point. I went over 10 and up 4, because we're counting by 2s. That's that point. And then for this last ordered pair right here, I went over 12 and down 4. There's that point. Do you understand? That's my blue triangle. That was my reflection. Now, that was the reflection, so now we're going to find the dilation. Aston, does that make sense? So the last thing, I'm going to have 2 different colored figures up here because that's my first one. Now I'm doing the second thing. So I took half of all those numbers. Does that make sense, Aston? And now I'm just going to graph them. Okay, remember we're counting by 2s. So I'm going to go over 2 and up 1. That's why it's in that little spot. Over 5 and up 2. That's in that little spot. And then over 6 and down 2. And that's in that little spot. And there we go. Are we good? Yes, no? Maybe?
Now.
I don't know if it wants us to move it over. I wouldn't think it would. But and then the next one, this one it's the same thing. We've got like it's like the cylinders. We already have one like it, but I left it on here. Are these figures, well, are they similar?
Yes.
Yes, they are similar. Okay, they're not congruent, but they are similar figures. Okay, and then I think we're on our last. Are we on our last one? see. Oh yeah, this one has 36. Okay. Yep, this one's on there. Let me erase that real quick. All right, this one, it just wants to know my transformation. How has it moved? Okay, so the first thing is it looks like we're going to see how far it's been moved over to the right, left, up, or down. All right, so this one has been moved to the right, and we're counting by ones. Does everybody see we're counting by ones this time? How do you know that? We'll just see 1, 2, so you can tell you're counting by ones. So it looks like it's going to move over 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and down 1. Let me write that down. 4 to the right, and down 1. So which one of those translations looks like 4, -1? This one does. This one does.
A and C.
Or A and B.
Yeah, A and B. Sorry.
Yeah, and that's it. Does everybody get that? So we've narrowed it down. I knew that this point right here goes 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right and down 1. Okay, I'm just trying to match them up. Okay? Alright, then now we have to compare size. So did it get bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
It got bigger. Well, you can already tell your answer, right? Because this one has to be the one where it gets bigger. But we'll just make sure. This one is 2 and this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it dilated by a factor of 3. 2 times 3 is 6. This little ordered pair right here is just saying that's where the little corner is, the new corner, the bottom part. Is that, are we good? Yes, kind of. Okay, so the rest of today you can either make a note card or somebody said they have questions. You can come ask me a few questions. I think I'm done videoing though, right? I'm trying to keep the video small because I'm going to have to take it home later and upload the video. If you go to check at any point this weekend for the video and it's not there, send me a reminder. Or even if your parent needs to text me. Because if the internet works, I do it right now. But since the internet doesn't work, I'll have to wait till I'm at home, and sometimes when I get home, I forget.
Do you have an index card?
I do. I have a bunch of them in the bottom right drawer.